Hello, and welcome to The Update, where Grants Pass stays informed, engaged, and moving forward together. I'm Aaron Kubik, your city manager. To start off today's episode, we're doing a quick recap of this week's city council meeting, and I'm joined today by Councilor Seth Benham. Councilor, welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
Yeah.
We're back. Actually, last night's meeting was, I think, one of the shortest ones I've participated in.
It was one of the shorter ones. It was just over an hour.
Yeah. It was crazy. It was great. Just kind of reviewing that, we vacated that street plug, so simple, easy, nothing crazy there. Kind of the big item on the agenda last night was the resolution to create the Small Business Taskforce.
Yes.
Which, I was in favor of. I think, I have a lot of knowledge of the business community in town just from what I've been doing the last, 10 years of my life. But I think, I'm hopeful that this task force will focus on policy and, how if there is certain regulations or things holding businesses back in Grants Pass, that we talk about those and focus on that, right? Because I think as far as, the business community, I feel like there's a pretty tight-knit community here. But when it comes to, that private sector, public sector relationship, how do we increase that and make it easier for small businesses to thrive?
Yeah, I'm hoping that it like you mentioned, it helps build some additional lines of communication between the city and the business community, and we could sort of also utilize our building code advisory committee task force that we've got put together and utilize that as a way of, okay, what kind of processes or procedures do we have in place that may be awkward or may hinder business growth in some form or fashion.
Yeah. And, I think there's probably some people out there that may think that these committees don't do much. But for me, ultimately, even if you get one valuable piece of information out of it or change or whatever that means, I think it's still worthwhile, right? I mean, all the people on these committees are volunteers, right? So they're not getting paid. It's other than staff time to run the meetings, I think it's valuable to get opinions from the general public in different sectors.
Oh yeah, and we've utilized those successfully over the years of all sorts of different task forces and advisory committees. So they are very valuable to council and to staff.
So I'm excited to see who applies for that. Hopefully, we'll get a lot of applicants from a wide range of companies and backgrounds and sizes. So. Yeah,
there's the 7 members, I think. One from Main Street, designated from Main Street. I think there's 5 at large. So we're looking for...
And then Chamber of Commerce.
And then the Chamber of Commerce,
Yep. So, that was kind of the big talking point last night. And then, public comment, we had a handful of people talking about the pump track, which has been, it's come up quite a bit. I've seen it online a lot in the last, especially week.
Yeah.
And I'm all in support of it. We talked about the pump track versus the natural playground. Was that like our last workshop, I believe it was?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think both are great ideas. I will say that the pump track did come in number 1 on the survey results by a decent chunk. And so for me, I think the people spoke. That's what the idea that they like. I also like the idea of a pump track at the Reinhart, or Reinhart, or even Riverside, somewhere right near town, for a couple of reasons. One, it could draw traffic off I-5, but why not drive them through town, right? So maybe they'll stop, maybe they'll get lunch, dinner, whatever it is, go shopping. So that's one reason, if you have it at Reinhart or even a Riverside Park location, kind of draw traffic through town. And then secondly, the Beacon Hill project, again, I'm all for parks and everything, but it's probably a further out, project than we think it is. And so the other thing with Beacon Hill is, right, it's at the top of town, which is great for that area. But, Reinhart and Riverside is centrally located. So people that want to go to a pump track from the other side of the river, well, Reinhart, you've got the walking bridge there. So a lot easier to access. And same with Riverside, right? It's centrally located. So anyways, I think it's great to have the community out voicing their opinion on this, and people seem excited.
Yeah, and what Councilor Benham's talking about is, of course, a pump track, and maybe you can explain what a pump track is, because I think some people don't quite understand what it is. But from our perspective and an infrastructure perspective, it's been discussed that we have some city property that's on the northeast part of town. We call it the Beacon Hill location.
Yeah.
And so that's been identified for a park, and the pump track was an item that was discussed to go there.
Yeah.
Now, we don't technically have plans yet for that. We have nothing on paper that's saying here's what it's going to look like. So it's a number of years out there, but it's something that we're planning on. We recognize that from an inventory standpoint, we don't have a lot of recreational opportunities and public parkland in the northeast part of town.
Yeah.
So that was one of the discussions on one of the pushes for getting that Beacon Hill Park developed.
Yeah.
And then we're looking at, in Reinhart Volunteer Park, the fly fishing training spot was just being underutilized.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were trying to figure out what to do with that, because we were going to change that use there. And a natural playground area was discussed along with whatever else the community
in a
was
perfect
wanting.
world, we have both of them, right?
Have,
I've actually been to a natural playground in Wilsonville, and it's a cool concept. You know, it's definitely different than a normal playground. So, like I said, in a perfect world, just put both of them in. But obviously, it takes time and money.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's some misconceptions with what a pump track is. You know, people ask me, well, what about the B Street jumps? We have the Dollar Mountain bike trails already. We already have enough biking related things. But a pump track actually is multi-use for not just bikes, right? You can skateboard.
Yeah.
I've seen people rollerblade.
Oh, yeah.
Scooters. I mean, you name it. And, the other thing, right, like the B Street jumps, it's DG, so it's decomposed granite, right? It's not a asphalt surface. And so, you've got some irregularities in the surface. But with the pump track, the whole concept is that, like on a bike or like a skateboard, you don't even have to really push or pedal, because there's enough slope and it rises and goes downhill enough to where you just kind of naturally go with it. That's the whole idea behind a pump track.
Sounds pretty fluid and fun.
Yeah, and so it makes it easy for all ages, even young kids, right? Because I know B Street, most kids probably aren't super young going to be willing to go do those jumps or, go there and participate. But, a pump track is a little easier, beginner, it gets you used to getting up to speed and going over some slopes. So,
well, I know you were talking about what activity is going to happen there. You mentioned rollerblades, and what popped into my head is, grand opening, wherever it may be put. Maybe you and I should wear our best 90s bright outfits and rollerblade out there together as a grand opening thing. That might be sort of fun.
I haven't rollerbladed in like probably 20 years, so it'd be a little rough. And I don't even know if I could find rollerblades that fit my shoe size. So we can try.
Yeah.
I'll just strap like skateboards to my feet.
Oh, that'd be funny.
But yes, I do agree that we should do something fun. No, but again, like I think the pump track's a great idea. I think the natural playground's a great idea. For me, it comes down to like, what does the community want, right? And I mean, I think there's a lot of people that have voiced their opinion on the pump track. Still people that support the natural playground, but we do have a lot of playgrounds in general. This just offers something different. I think too, some people have spoke at council about the fact that a pump track kind of fits the age range of, maybe 8 to, 18, right? Like that teenager age range, which would be good. Because a playground, once you get a certain age, you're not going to be utilizing as much. So, yeah.
Yeah, those pump tracks are utilized heavily in the communities that I've driven by that have had them. So we had this discussion a few weeks ago with regards to what to do with that space, and council was sort of leaning towards the direction of a natural playground area. So I think ultimately this will likely need to come back to a workshop where council will provide some additional direction on really, truly what we're going to be putting there.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I would like it to come back to a workshop so we can discuss it. I think too with the pump track, there's potential for maybe some private money and some donations to help fund at least a portion of it to get some community people involved. That would also help in terms of, the costs of doing it.
Well, I'm looking forward to having that discussed a little further so the community and staff will have a good direction on what will be put into place at Reinhart Volunteer Park, where the fly fishing location is, and how Beacon Hill Park plays into this also.
Yeah. No, it's all good. It's all good things, I think. So, yeah. And then last week we had our strategic planning 2-day session.
That's right. Yeah.
So that was good.
2 days of fun.
Yeah. 2 days of fun. Yeah, no, I mean, I enjoyed most, all of it, actually. Your presentation in the beginning, and then hearing from the committees and commissions. I did think that was good, right? Because, we don't always get to hear directly from them.
Yeah.
Or it's throughout the year, and maybe it's on a agenda that's full of a bunch of other things, so the focus is not necessarily on that. So that was good. I think hearing their goals and what they've accomplished was helpful.
You could see the energy in the committee chairs or vice chairs, whoever's doing the presentations, the energy level and the passion they have for the committees they serve on, and it's great to have that interaction seen between council and those chairs.
Yeah, and it's important to have those people in those positions. I think most of them are well connected with the community in their respective areas and of expertise, and so they drive a lot of that discussion. So, then it comes to council a little bit more fleshed out with some ideas and, what they want to do.
Yeah. And then the second part of the second half of that was we reaffirmed our strategic plan and sort of where we're going from that perspective. You heard from department directors on what we're focusing on to try to make sure that we're achieving council's goals. And all of that's really important from our perspective, from a staff perspective, because we're starting to work on the budget. And we need to make sure we're appropriating resources to council's goals. And so this was very important perspective, so we know how to build the budget to present to you.
Yeah, I can't believe we're already back in budget season.
We are, yeah.
So, that's coming up. That's the next workshop, the interview budget committee candidates.
And then also we're going to get some more guidance from council with regards to reaffirming our budget policies. And you're going to get a future financial outlook of where we are.
Cool.
So we think it's really important for us, again, in building the budget, that we have a clear understanding of what your budget policies are. Do you want to have any changes? Here's our financial outlook. You provide us that direction along with the direction from the strategic plan, and we'll be able to build something very positive for you to review.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Cool. Good.
I mean, that's kind of covers it for the next, week. I mean, the budget is going to be kind of the big topic going into March, obviously.
It is. I mean, because one of the things council did is we did add 12 new FTE.
Yep.
Six new firefighters and 6 new police officers. And so that does have an impact on the budget. And that's one of the things we'll be discussing with council.
Yeah. Yep. The one other thing I do want to touch on is we do have the first meeting tomorrow for the Elk Island Review Panel.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And so I'm on it, and so is Councilor Crone. So, yeah. So I don't have anything to update from that, but I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll help, the community as a whole, and just having, counselors involved, public safety, participants from the Parker's Place and Elk Island, and just driving that messaging and communicating with the general public will be huge.
That's going to be an important piece of this whole project. And from an operational perspective, I know we've processed a few payment requests already, so we know that there's progress being made, including purchasing of Connex boxes and other things that we're starting to go through the grant process with them and releasing some of those funds. And so it looks like still we're on schedule to be opening the 1st of June.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, and so hopefully once we meet Friday, we'll kind of figure out our cadence and, what our initiatives are, and then we'll start getting those out to the public.
That's going to be exciting. That'll be such a great asset to the community. Councilor Benham, thank you very much for your attendance today and
thanks for having me.
The information on the podcast. I look forward to speaking with you again.
Yes,
yeah.
We'll be back.
Definitely. So up next, I wanted to have a conversation with our utility billing manager, Kimberly Gasperson. Kimberly, welcome.
Thank you. I am glad to be here.
So, utility billing manager, tell me a little bit about what your job is, what your responsibilities are for the listeners, or maybe I should say, what do you not do? That's a shorter list, probably.
I think we could talk about what my primary duties are. Is I am the manager over all city services billing. So I have 6 staff that work for me, and we create the utility bills for the city of Grants Pass. We have approximately 14,000 customers that we bill over 7 unique billing cycles monthly. We also handle your municipal tickets, your parking citations, basically that come from public safety. We do assessments. We do some other general billing. So there's a variety of things that occur on that front counter. Plus, we're pretty much the front door because our door is on the bottom floor. Big glass that says customer service. So we are the space that people typically start at. And so my staff are incredibly knowledgeable about the community as a whole and the city as a whole so that we can direct customers so they don't feel like they are running in circles. We help them find county buildings. We help them find the tax assessor, the Veteran Services Office. We find this is where the public safety office, the fire station, and or community development. So I have an amazing group of people that work for me who come with a variety of knowledge and really enjoy engaging with our community.
So for some people that use the old phrase, they used to call it the water bill. And it's not really the water bill. It's the utility bill, or do we have another name for it that we'd like to call it?
We call it the city services bill because the bill really encompasses a variety of city services. Yes, at one point, 25 years ago, it was just a water and sewer or wastewater bill is what we categorize that as. And now it is water, wastewater, transportation, water plant replacement, stormwater, and public safety fees. So those utility bills, as some people do still refer to them as, we call city services bills, help fund a variety of things that make life livable in this community. Clean water, streets, just a variety of things. Our public safety officers, the records department, and so it all comes on that one city services bill. What people often have a hard time with, in other communities, bills are not necessarily a unified bill. So the city of Medford doesn't have a unified bill. They have a bill from the city of Medford, and then you're going to get a bill from their water department, right? So we have a unified bill. You go up north, the city of Eugene, you're going to see their stormwater may be on their taxes. Ours is on our utility bill or on our city services bill. So we have unified billing, which a lot of other communities don't. And when you come to understand that those services are being provided to you by other communities, they're just billed differently. We're just billing it on one bill.
Yeah, because we really are a full service city. I mean, some cities have special districts or sewer district or water district or fire district or whatever it is. We are responsible for all of those items here for the city of Grants Pass.
Absolutely. You do have communities that maybe have a water district and that serves not one community, but 5. We are, like you say, a full service city with some amazing individuals that work in different departments to make this place the beautiful place that it is. I think we sometimes take for granted the streets department and or the stormwater department. And they do a lot of cleaning and a lot of upkeep. So when we do get that torrential downpour, which we do get in Southern Oregon, the streets are not flooded. Same thing with the wastewater department. Everything that leaves your home or business through a drain goes back to that wastewater treatment plant and back into the river cleaner than it came out. And that's pretty amazing for those of us who live here because of its beauty. I know I love the Rogue River and spend a significant amount of time on it. I'm very happy with the folks at the wastewater treatment plant, which are up from where I raft. That water's clean.
Yes. So your department, the utility billing department, it really plays a large role in being a face for the community, as you mentioned, and ultimately the receipt of revenues for operations. I mean, some of the largest revenue coming in comes from the utility bill. And our other part, of course, is property taxes, and that's general fund dollars. But the primary bulk of what you're receiving is our enterprise funds, those special utilities, like you mentioned, water, wastewater, streets, transportation, that kind of thing. And so there's many different ways that people can pay their utility bill, I'm guessing. You still have walk-ins? I mean, with today's technology?
You would be amazed. We are still a social stop for some of our community members, which we thoroughly enjoy. They come in specifically to say hello to the staff, and pay their utility bill. And yes, a lot has changed in the 17 or so years that I've been here. It's a little over $17 million worth of annual billing that goes out on those 14,000 bills. And we do give the customers a variety of ways to pay. You can pay online with your financial institution. You can still mail us a check. You can come in and pay cash, check, or card. And we have an online portal, our web portal, that you can go to the city website, grantspassoregon.gov, and click Pay Utility Bill Online. And you can establish an account there and create a wallet like you do with several other utilities or other bills that you may have, and pay your bill there. We have some amazing new functionality in that online web portal. We don't have the ability to take a credit card in the office on a recurring payment, but the portal does. So we have a lot of customers that calls, hey, I'd like to place my credit card on file to pay my utility bill. And I can't do that, but our portal can. So you can go into the portal, create a wallet, put in your credit card, and set that up to automatic pay. What will happen is 3 days before your bill is due, it will draft your card. You can also, there's a 2.5% fee that you pay for utilizing a credit card, but it will automatically pay that bill and you won't have to worry about it. The bill will come to you in the mail, you'll know your wallet is set up, and it will take the bill. The system will also say, hey, your card's about to expire. So you're gonna need to update that information. All of that in the hands of the consumer. You can choose how that works. You can choose just to schedule a payment. You don't want us to take it on the day we're going to take it. You can schedule. You can use a checking account or savings account to pull from. You can put those in your wallet. All of those things can be established on our online portal. Or you can give us a call and we'll send you to our interactive voice response system. You put in your account information and you can make a payment with a card or with your checking or savings account. All city phone calls to the city services department are recorded but not encrypted. So we don't take cards or checking account information ourselves, but we will send you to the encrypted system, which is the IVR system. Any card that you link is 2.5%.
Okay, all right.
If you use a checking or a savings account, there's no fee.
Okay, so if you link it to your checking or savings account.
There's no fee.
Excellent. So one of the things I think that our listeners might be interested in is council made a policy decision to help with our water treatment plant. We're doing some increases over the next 3 years on the water side of things. And what kind of financial assistance programs do we have for individuals that may have a hard month or need some assistance with their customer service bill or their
City
service bill?
So the city council did set aside funds. That is our utility assistance program for those who do have water associated with their bill, and it is a residential bill. It's for you as a single family residence. This is where you live. There are funds up to $400 that you can use annually if you get a shutoff notice. If you get a letter that says we're going to disconnect your services, we have the ability to do a one-time payment of up to $400 with the hopes of kind of bringing you to a zero so that maybe it gives you an opportunity to breathe and pay a few other bills. I also want people to know that my staff is well equipped to have a conversation about what does your bill look like and how do we help you manage that, bring it below our delinquency threshold and give you time to pay it. How do we do a payment plan with you over the next 30 days? We want to help people. We want them to call. We don't want them to call on the day that their water went off. We want them to call when the letter went out that said, hey, the water's going to go off 3 weeks from now. We want to help you, and we have mechanisms to help you. We can send you to a variety of other social service agencies in the community who can also help you.
Okay, excellent. And so if you are in that situation, come ask for help before the water gets turned off.
Absolutely. Because once the water's off, I can't really help you. But I can help you prior to that, right? I can give you some of our assistance money on the day the water goes off, but if you need to seek other opportunities in the community to get assistance, they're not instantaneous. we really want you to come and have a conversation with us. How do we get you below the delinquent threshold? How do we get you on some kind of extension plan prior to the day it went off so that we can help you manage that going forward? We have a lot of customers that come and see us regularly and pay $50 every 2 weeks just to keep from going into our delinquency process. They walk in, we know their names, they know ours, they pay their $50, have a nice day, and out they go. And there are ways that we can help you manage your outstanding debt to the city and avoid you losing your services.
Okay. Two other things I was thinking about as we were sitting here talking. One is paying my bill. All of a sudden, I see this giant spike in my water. And this actually it happened. I got a phone call about 2 weeks ago or something like that. And I think I sent them down to you to have a conversation with them about what our opportunities are. So if you get a bill and you're like, oh my gosh, I've got 4 times the amount of water usage, what's going on? I didn't change my lifestyle. What kind of options do we have for these individuals?
So we do have a leak adjustment program or policy so that we can help those customers. Our field guys are out in the field. You'll see them. They work for the city of Grants Pass. What will happen is if I go to read your meter and you normally use 10 units of water, we'll say in a month, and all of a sudden you use 50, and this is outside of what we would consider a seasonal norm for you. So 10 in December and then all of a sudden to 50, that seems odd. Well, their handheld device is going to say, hey, are you sure that reads correct? It's going to flag them to look again. And then they're going to be like, yep, that reads correct. And then they're going to look at what's called a leak indicator on the meter and say, leak verified. And they're going to send a note with the utility upload that comes to my lead billing clerks that says there's a known leak here. We saw it. We can see it. And we're going to send a letter to you to say, hey, we think you have a leak. You need to call plumber. If I have to send a field crew back to verify that, we're going to put a door hanger on there that says, hey, we see that you have a leak. Contact our office.
Yeah.
So when you contact our office, we'll tell you that anything on your side of the meter is your responsibility. And if you get that leak fixed in a timely manner, we can split it with you. So if you normally use 10 units of water, and we'll say over that you used 110 units of water. So 10 is your norm, so 100 is your extra. We're going to waive 50 units of it, and you're going to pay 50 units of it. And I can work with people to say, hey, maybe you need to pay that over 2 months. We can give you a little bit of breathing room. Also, most people don't realize that your winter average consumption, your winter water use, plays into your sewer rate. People will go through and have a leaky toilet over the winter. They don't really think about it because it's not impacting their bill enormously, but it may impact their wastewater rate come April.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden their bill goes up significantly. Well, I can do a wastewater adjustment. And we can do that. All you have to do is say, hey, I had a leaky toilet. I fixed it on this date. I didn't realize this program existed. Can you reduce my bill? And as long as it reduced by at least 20%, we'll reduce that wastewater rate, so you won't pay that going forward.
And is this program for residential and commercial customers?
Yes, residential, commercial, and multifamily. So commercial customers pay 1-for-1 on their wastewater. So if you use 4 units of water, you're going to pay for an equal amount of sewer. If that water leak happened outside, so I'm a commercial customer and I had a broken sprinkler line, and so now I'm getting wastewater charges for something that never was processed, we will waive all of the overage of wastewater charges because you've told me that it happened outside and provided me documentation of that. You have to provide documentation. We'll waive all of that wastewater charge and we'll split the water with you.
Oh.
So there are maximums. I cannot make an adjustment on a residential or multifamily home for more than $1,000, and I can't do it on a commercial for more than $2,000. Because sometimes it takes a little bit. It'll take about a billing cycle and a half before someone really goes, this is a problem.
Right.
And so that we give people time to do that, and I can adjust up to 3 bills.
Okay.
By policy. And again, we will work with you to the best of our ability. My staff is, hey, your wastewater rate seems really high, but your water use is significantly lower. Did you have a leak over the winter? Oh, yeah, I had this toilet that never stopped running. Oh, we had a broken outside pipeline. Took them forever to come fix it. Those kinds of things we can assist with.
Okay. Another question that popped into my head is, I'm not there yet. I've got many years to go. But, let's say someone's just recently retired and they bought a RV and they're going to go travel around for a few months out of the year, and especially in the wintertime or something along those lines. I know we have some kind of turn-off program. Can you tell me a little bit about that? And when does it make sense, if you're going to be gone for a certain amount of time, to maybe consider having your water turned off versus, I'm going to be gone for a month, or I'm going to be gone for 6 months? Is there a point in time when it financially makes more sense to do a turn off?
So if you have water services associated with your city services bill, we can stop those services and stop billing those services during a time you're gone. You have to be gone for a full 30 days before that is financially feasible for you and doesn't necessarily impact our field crew's ability to go back and forth. So if you know that you're going to snowbird, and we have snowbirds in this community. There are several that I talk to every year, and they'll turn off those services. And we say we need 24 hours notice, and we don't turn off on the weekend. So we need 24 hours notice that you want the water off. And then we need 24 hours notice that you want it back on. And it must be off for a full 30 days.
Okay.
And there are many people in this community that do that. Typically, they have multiple addresses stored in the system because they'll have a final bill for the time that they were home, and we'll mail that to wherever it is they're at, or to their P.O. box, or to their kids, or whoever it is that it needs to go to. Or it might just come out. Yeah, that happens. Or it might just get drafted out of their bank account, or they can use their online wallet to pay it.
Yes.
Because we can also email that bill to you. So we can email all of the city bills. We can email and paper bill it if you'd like. So we have a variety of options for how to get your utility bill. I want to just encourage people. There are a lot of people out in the community that get a city services bill, and we mail that bill to them, and we mail them a green envelope. And those individuals might not utilize that green envelope because they're using our portal or our IVR system or their banking institution to pay us, and so that envelope goes in the trash.
Yeah.
If you give us a call and say, hey, please stop sending me an envelope, we have a code for that, and then no envelope gets placed there, which keeps that from ending up in a landfill. And
ultimately
reduces the cost.
our costs a little bit.
That is correct.
Yeah. Okay.
And we encourage that.
Yeah. What is the average city services bill every month?
So when customers call, and that's a pretty common question, they'll be looking at purchasing a home or moving into a home, and they'll say, what's the average bill here? What we do tell them is the average city services bill is about $112 a month. But that's a baseline. Yours could be less, it could be more. It depends on a lot of things. What kind of appliances do you have in your home? Do you have water efficient appliances? Do you hand wash your dishes, which typically uses more water than the dishwasher does because people have a tendency to leave the water on, as opposed to just putting in the dishwasher. And most dishwashers are energy efficient.
Do you run this bathroom sink when you're brushing your teeth?
This is absolutely it does it absolutely makes a difference. How old is your washing machine? How often do you cook? How many children live in your home? We get a good giggle from people. Are there teenagers in your home? They'll stay in the shower forever. It just happens. And so what your household is made up of who lives there, and the ages of the individuals that live there change your bill drastically. The age of your home will change that, the energy efficient. So we say $112. Could be more, could be less. It really just depends on you and who lives in your home.
Oh. Well, when you consider that cost and the quality and level of service that's provided, it seems like that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, I think some people they say that this is expensive for a water bill. So your base water rate is $26 to have the meter there, right? The first 748 gallons of water is a little less than 90 cents. So
Wow.
you're up to $26.90 approximately and then you have another $16. So that's $42.90 approximately for 748 gallons of water delivered to your home, clean and drinkable. Go to a local box store and buy 748 gallons of water and see what it will cost you. It will cost you probably close to $748.
Yeah.
But we are delivering that to you. The power goes out at your home, that water still runs. It's there and available to you. And it's always clean. It's always drinkable. If it's not, we're going to alert you, and we're going to alert you quickly. So I understand that individuals have a hard time with the costs associated with the bill. Same thing happens on the sewer side. You're going to pay $18 to process 4 units of sewer, $18, plus a base sewer rate of another $25 or $26. And every unit of sewer is 748 gallons. Most people, the base is they pay for 4 units of sewer is the average that people pay for. 748 gallons for $10. It's significant. And when you start to look at the bill that way, those services that you're getting are priceless.
Oh, they really are.
Yeah.
The health and safety of our community relies on those services.
Absolutely. And the individuals that are, the public works individuals that are bringing you the utility pieces are dedicated and really just very knowledgeable individuals in their fields. Same thing with the police and fire services that you're getting. We have top-notch services in this community. We respond, and we respond quickly, whether that be police, whether that be fire, whether that just be you calling 911 dispatch, which in the city limits, to get in the ambulance. The individuals that this bill is tied to provide you those services, provide you grade A services. Yeah. And services beyond what a lot of other communities see.
We have an amazing group of colleagues we have the pleasure of working for and working with.
I concur.
Yeah.
I've been here a very long time, and it never ceases to amaze me the quality of individuals that come to work here.
Yeah.
And their passion. If you speak to any member of those different departments, if you go and have a wastewater facility tour with the superintendent there, he is all smiles and phenomenally just interested in what he does. Same thing if you walk over to public safety and want to have a conversation with a records clerk or with 911 dispatch, or if you go to the fire station and want to really know what those guys do, there's a battalion chief that's going to come out and tell you all about fire and safety and those things. So we just have been incredibly blessed with people who are passionate about their career fields.
Yep.
But I guess I'm a little biased because I work here with these amazing people.
Yes, definitely. Kimberly, thank you very much for being part of the show today and talking about your department and the services that we provide our community.
And thank you for having me. And I just want to let everyone know if they have questions about city services billing, they can give us a call. My staff are available, and we actually love getting to interact with the community and would happily provide them the information that they need if they have questions or concerns.
Excellent. Thank you again.
Thank you.
You can find this episode and future ones on the city's website and on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We plan to release new episodes twice a month following council meetings. I'm Aaron Kubik. Thank you for being part of the Grants Pass community and listening to The Update, where Grants Pass stays informed, engaged, and moving forward together.